being down on yourself, I don't want to say it's not like it's not a possibility, but it's almost impossible in my opinion if you have healthy testosterone levels to feel down on yourself. You know what's interesting? There was a study that I saw Gad Sad talk about once, where they put guys, and they were doing like a real time monitoring of their testosterone levels. I don't know if they had like an IV in them or something like that, but they were real time monitoring T levels of guys. And they put them in like a basic car, like I think it was a Toyota Camry or something like that. And they're driving around a Toyota Camry. And then they get out and they hand them the keys to a Porsche, and they drive a Porsche. And their T levels went up just driving a performance car. You just feel better. So winning, competing, making more money, buying cool shit that makes you like sort of feel good sort of thing, like as you're driving it. These are all outside influences, talking to beautiful women. That was another study that they did. So if you spend more time talking to women that you're genuinely attracted to, your testosterone levels go up. So there's a lot of natural phenomenon that happens. One of the other things that happens too, if you get married and have kids, is your testosterone levels go down. And they estimate that happens because, you've got a small child, you want to, nature wants you to protect and provide for it, not have, really high T levels and run off and keep banging other things sort of stuff. So they are, they don't have a lot of stuff with Evo Psych is speculatory, if I can put it that. So they speculate that happens in men, to pair bond with that woman, look after that child or the children sort of thing. So it's an up and down thing in your life. But the general trajectory for most men as they get older is your testosterone levels will decline. It's not a question of if they're going to decline, it's to what extent. Okay, I've said this before. It's like with betatization through 1,000 concessions with women in relationships, proximity, familiarity are generally not good. You will go through some process of betatization. It's not a question of if you'll be betatized, it'll be to what extent when you get into a committed long-term relationship that's exclusive to one woman. That just happens. How good are you at managing frame? How much time you spend with her? How familiar is she with you? Like all these things can sort of mitigate it and minimize it sort of thing. But it's like the same thing with the reduction in your testosterone. It will go down as you get older. A 16-year-old is always going to have more optimal hormone panels than a 46-year-old. There's no question about it. When you're 16, every morning you wake up with morning wood. Half the time you got to do a handstand on your head to take a pee because your Johnson's admiring the stucco on the ceiling and you can't go to the bathroom. Little joke for, the gals out there that don't know, but that's what it's like when you're a young guy. The wind blows, you get a hard on sort of thing. It's like when you're a young man, you enjoy fully optimal levels. You're always motivated. You want to compete in sports. You do well in sports. You have unlimited energy. You can stay up fucking 18 hours of the day, a lot of the time. So as you get older, a lot of those things start to decline. And as I stated in the video, you start to notice it after a while. Okay. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I'm a product of the 70s. I'm always honest with you guys. I try to be as forthcoming as possible in all areas of life that I operate in so that I can be as useful to you as possible, because it's my aim to help men become better men and also become good at being men, of course. It's why I do all the things that I do, and I create so much free content, and I share all of these stories and put all the premium stuff that I've also, developed for you guys as well. So there's that. So there's a lot of benefits to it. And then you can go and look at something like TRT Plus when you get on it. Anavar is a great, really, really, really good and very safe. It's called oxydronolone or something like that, I think is like the medical term, but like the product name is Anavar. Bodybuilders call it VAR, affectionately. It's not super anabolic, but a lot of guys I know that have used TRT, and I've used it as well myself, they'll kind of stack it on for a little bit, and you get really good pumps and nice, firm, hard muscle. There's no water retention. You might gain a couple of pounds. It's a really nice compound, because then you start to learn about these things like, oh, okay, so I'm on testosterone, so let's stack a little bit of VAR on it. And you kind of maybe play in other areas like primobolan. If you're predisposed to hair loss, you don't want to touch primobolan if you want to hold on to some hair. I don't give a fuck. I tried primobolan. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. So So I've toyed around with some of these other compounds, and they're really cool. When you know about them and which ones you can toy around with and which ones you can, you can add to your protocol, and to what extent. They're also very, very, very safe, if you use them safely. If you have good guidance too, I can put it that way. A lot of people don't know what the fuck they're doing.